We had a really good time hanging out with David and Diane on the beach. Wow, this Adriatic coast, we've been going on and on about it. But unfortunately, the wind came in. And anyway, we hunkered down, edited for a few days, and we got stir crazy. I need to get a hike. And this place right here has been on my list for quite a while. Now this is Llogara National Park, and so we've kind of come up through a mountain pass. You guys might hear all the birds chirping around there, but there's a nice little hike up there along that ridge. Now I had planned on doing another hike, but due to the weather, we canceled that one. So we were parked right down here on the beach looking up at this area, and I was gonna come up here, like right through here, but instead we're gonna come up through this pass, Llogara Pass. I'm gonna do a little hike up here. So anyway, you're gonna check out the board, see what's available, and we're gonna get this party started.
All right, Kurt's about to hop out at the trailhead. We're literally pulled off on the side of the road. He's got a several-hour hike up some crazy mountain because he's a lunatic. But my job is I have to drive only about 5 minutes up the road to where he will come out on the other end later this afternoon. But the problem is, it is a weavy, curvy, apparently steep mountain road. But we scoped it out on Google Maps and it looks like it's plenty wide enough, so... But I am going solo. And that's where we'll meet him, is at the other end of the trail. So, if I'm not there, I fell off a mountain.
And I have a big decision to make. Which hat to wear. Snow brought me back a Snow and Curt hat or a Florida State Seminole hat.
I clearly vote for the Snow and Curt hat. Oh, yay. All right, guys. Kurt's headed off for his hike. We're doing the crazy drive. See y'all in a little while.
All right, Snow dropped me off at the side of the road. This is the trailhead. And this is, as you can see here, a 3.7 kilometer hike. I don't know if that's the full hike, but this is about 2,500 feet of elevation gain. This is gonna be a loop track, meaning Snow's gonna pick me up in a different place than she dropped me off. So I'm gonna walk through up a hill and back down a hill. This is gonna be about 6 miles. I'm anticipating that it's gonna be 2 to 2.5 hours up and 2 to 1.5 hours down. So we'll see. I'm getting an early start. It's a solo hike. I got a liter of water. I got all my cameras. I believe we'll even have cell phone service. It's a little bit cool this morning, and actually it's a little bit cloudy. The dust has still kind of been blowing in from Africa. I was hoping we'd get a clear day. Still got our fingers crossed. It's fairly early, but we are going, and I should tell you, there's a little history on this trail. Well, actually a lot of history, but Caesar snuck attack in one of his major invasions. And yeah, I don't know all the stats on that, but I think Snow does.
Oh no. Anxiety creeps up on me. Is this how it's supposed to feel? Tell me when it's over. I got someplace that I gotta be. It won't leave. My friends say, get out of your comfort zone. It's a blessing in disguise. Get out of what you call home. Your name is written in the sky. It might feel just like you're on your own, but baby, it's another lie. Remember, you are me. I try to work, but it doesn't work. I try to say something, but there's a word. I try to justify my actions, less reactions, heartbeat raising. Oh, it doesn't work.
steep road coming up, guys. Tight switchbacks, but the van's handling it okay so far. But the map showed that it was tight, but we knew we had the room. Some of these are hairpins. So far, so good. Alright. I like it when I can see and can swing wide. That one I couldn't really see. So we had to almost come to a stop. If I can keep it steady going in second gear, it seems to be happy. But we are for sure climbing. But I am happy that I'm climbing in the van, because Curt's going to be climbing like this with his legs. Looney Tune mountain hiker. It's pretty up here too, guys. This is a beautiful little drive. I think I can. But these roads really only scare me when they get narrow. There are plenty of room. There's plenty of room to pass other cars, even on the switchbacks. And that's what we had scoped out. If it was a narrow, scary road, I probably would not have wanted to do it by myself. So far, our research has paid off, and it's plenty wide through here. Alright, we got 400 meters to go, where we sure hope there's a place for us to pull off the road. It's also chillier up here. We've climbed quite a bit from beach level where we were this morning.
In 200 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
Oh, 200 meters. There's some bunkers down here that they've painted up. Here's our spot.
I can tell you right off the bat, we're in a pretty forested area. And I can see some big pine trees for sure. Lots of greenery. Spring is sprung, but it is a little chilly this morning. It's probably in the mid to upper 50s. But look at this forest, guys. We haven't seen a lot of this in the Balkans. Of course, we haven't had a lot of altitude, but this is pretty. It doesn't take long at all for us to get into the rocky, steep bits.
Now is the time, there's no more waiting. Who will you be when the light dawns? Sweat on your palms and your pulse is racing. Who will you be when the moment comes? Will you rise? Will you rise to be heroes? Blood on your knuckles, heroes. The world on your shoulders, heroes. Giving everything you've got, fighting till victories won, heroes. Pain is the price for something greater. You lay your life on a fault line when everyone else turns back. It's safer, drown out the fear inside. Will you rise to be heroes? Blood on your knuckles, heroes. The world on your shoulders, heroes. Giving everything you've got, fighting till victories won, heroes. One more step, one more
All right, we had a steep climb there for a little bit, and it leveled off, and we had a nice walk through a pretty little forest with all these white and purple and even yellow flowers. And what was nice about it was flat. And I'm not complaining about nothing, but we just got to another place that's steep, and I know we're approaching kind of the face of this mountain that I've been staring at for about a week. And we're not there yet. So believe me, I appreciate all these little flat spots, but I'm not on one now. As you guys can see, this is steep. And clearly we're getting into an area up here that's year-round wetter, more moisture, more water. And we haven't seen that a lot here, but you can see all the moss on the trees and on the rocks. And you know, that's one of the things I always loved about the jungles of South and Latin America, was all the just greenery and lushness of the mountains. And we're seeing a little bit of it up here. And well, I love it. As we meander up here through the kind of the rocks and the boulders, it's a really pretty trail and a really beautiful, tranquil morning. Wow. I love being in the nature. Guys, I am really thoroughly enjoying this hike. It is beautiful. Look at the moss and these rocks. Some of them are just so white, and with the moss growing out over them, we've reached a point of elevation where there's just some sheer drops with these rocks, and climbing on them is beautiful, hiking through them is beautiful, and looking at them is beautiful. And I can hardly see any birds, but they are chirping everywhere. And it's really kind of hazy outside of the forest, but it sort of creates this filtered light through here that is really pleasant. And well, I hope it clears up by the time we get to the big viewpoint and the big reveal. But we got no control over that, so we're just gonna keep moving along and enjoying this step by step. And here it is. We're starting to pop out of the forest. And if you can look up there, the rest of the mountain up there is just bald. And there's some rocks and some sparse trees, but it's more like the top of my head than this forest. And well, it's hazy and cloudy up there. But make no bones about it, this is the steepest part of the hike. I still have about 1,000 feet to go. And there was quite a bit of up and down in there. So I think my overall elevation gain is going to be bigger than I thought. But we're making good time. We're about an hour in. And once we get to the top, it's downhill from there. So let's go do this. All right, unfortunately, the clouds are setting in pretty quick. You can see right behind me there, I came up through that little valley right there where the clouds are just starting to push up on, and through that forest and up on this little mound. And it looks like those clouds are going to try to catch me, so I got to keep moving through here. But it's definitely a scattered trail through here, and it looks like up at the peak I'm not going to have any visibility. I still probably have about 400 or 500 foot of elevation, so I'm almost done with elevation. The walk out of here is mostly down. And so as I passed through here, all of a sudden I came up on some kind of trough. I don't know what this is, but maybe some kind of watering trough or something. Oh, there's a bird up there. Look at him. But it looks like I gotta climb up through these rocks. And again, although this area, it looks like there's no trees from down below. It looks like there's nothing up here. It looks like it's a bald mountain, but as you can see now that we're up in here, these bushes are bigger than you'd think. And yeah, that's definitely some kind of watering trough that comes down through this mountain here. But also, the texture, the terrain, the roughness is kind of rockier and steeper and windier. It almost looks like you just walk straight across it. That's definitely not the case. But I think this right here is something. A little vista. Oh, this is the tank for the water. So that was what that trough was for. Look at that. A water source. Definitely the sheep herders, I'm sure, bring their sheep up here to graze. I've seen horse tracks and other tracks on the way up, but this would be a good grazing area, I'm sure. And especially with that water source. Woo, the clouds are coming. All right, I guess I must still be on the trail. I made it to this map, and it looks like this is the intersection of several trails. Now, this is a big peninsula I'm on, and so you can walk all the way down to the peninsula, or you can walk down the other side of the mountain and get to the coast. I will not be doing either of those. I am taking a different trail than I did up, back down to the road. Snow will meet me there. This is a different path down, so I need to make sure I find that. All right, I just came over the top. It's cloudy, but as I'm standing here, we got to stand here for a second, because as I'm standing here, the clouds started to depart for a second, and I can actually see the blue Adriatic Sea down below us. And it is beautiful. I will not be hiking down there, although that would be stunning. I can see a little hidden bay tucked away. Well, I made it back to the trail, and I'm moving along sort of the other side of the mountain. The other side was looking back to the north. This is looking back to the kind of down to the south, but I think I gotta go back over the peak. I don't think snow's on this side of the mountain, but not 100% sure till I get there. So we'll just keep moving along. But the sun is trying to give way here. It's trying to give me a little break, if you can see the clouds. Thank God for trail maps. I was walking around the other side of the mountain. It just didn't feel right. I'd gone down a little bit, and sure enough, where the trails intersected, I was on the wrong one, and honestly, it looked like a really cool trail. But I do have a little bit more climbing before I go down, but I am back on the correct trail, and as you can see, I'm on the other side of the well, I'm on the cloud side of the mountain now instead of the ocean seaside, and I'm also getting delirious. The temperatures dropped up here significantly, and with the cloud cover, this is getting to be something I just need to push through. You guys are not gonna believe this, but I just took a little 5-minute break, and while I was sitting there, I was looking at the valley behind me trying to take some pictures, and the clouds would break for just a second and then cover up. But the sun has come out. And I don't know how long it's gonna stay, but I am walking up, getting real close to the actual summit of this thing. So we'll see. It's too early to tell, but I always say it's better to be lucky than good.
When forever comes tomorrow, what has been will always be. Time and again, my darling, you're everything. So let the world grow in a garden. Hear me now and know the truth. Hear the beating of my heart. It's always you. It's always you.
But I gotta say, I sure am glad this sun came out. And I think we missed some views, but we also got some killer views, and I'm always grateful for what I get. And that forest was excellent, but I do believe most of the hard stuff's behind us. So I was just cruising along that tree line up there, probably about 50, 100 feet above it. And it was a pretty cool walk. It was just on a straight, narrow, like goat path, and the footing was pretty good and made some good time. But then all of a sudden, I come up on this area. And again, in these areas, it's kind of difficult sometimes to find the trail. And these rocks are really sharp. And so all of a sudden you're coming through here and the terrain has just changed significantly. But I don't see those radio towers now. Now this is a 6-mile hike, so we still probably have 2.5 miles left. But I'm hoping it gets easier, and I'm hoping I can find the trail again. You can see the clouds over there, and there's even a snow-covered mountain. All right, if you ask my opinion, I'll tell you, this trail's a little messed up, and you can see the radio towers there. But I'm gonna pan back here, and this view we're looking at right here, we came up the pass, we stayed down on those beaches for a while, we explored that area behind us. You can see the sea, hopefully, and you can see the beautiful valley that we drove up through. But the reason why I say this trail's messed up is because where is it? And I've had to pull out my app an awful lot on this hike just to stay close. So it's almost in some regards, like someone just walked through here and left a map on Wikiloc. But in any event, I can't blame the Google lady today, but we are with our phone able to stay at least on a track that gets us back to the van. It's all walkable up here. I would much rather walk on the trail so I don't disturb all these beautiful flowers and all these native plants. I definitely don't want to do that. But guys, sometimes the trail up here just disappears. There's a road that they use to service up here. So I think once I get around here somewhere, I might pick that road up and be able to take that down, because I'll be honest with you, it's been challenging staying on the trail here. Good news, guys. We made it to the road. So this is the road we'll take back down, old radio tower road, maintenance road. But you can see down there, that's where we're headed next. That was the beaches I was telling you about, the Albanian Riviera, and on down the coast. And we are probably less than 60 miles from Greece down there. But that water right there, that blue, is absolutely magical in terms of color. It is wow, wow, wow. And it's turned into be a really beautiful day. I mean, there's definitely some cloud cover. I would love more visibility, but maybe there's a snow-covered mountain right in front of us. Maybe those clouds will clear and give us a glimpse. I do still think we have to go over this hill. I think snow's down there. And the serpentine road, get this guys, there is a crazy serpentine road here that we got to take to get down there. Now I don't know if we're going to get to it in this episode, but I can tell you from what David and Diane said, it is going to be a pretty crazy road. Anyway, let's see. I've been walking on this road for a while now, and I'm almost back down into the forest. And I think I've just reached sort of my last viewpoint here, my last scenic view. And I can see out to the peninsula there. And we haven't been able to see that all day, but you can see it jutting out all the way out there. I think you can see that. Anyway, I can tell you it's stunning. And we can look back and see all the land back there as well. What a great feeling to walk around the corner and have the van be where it's supposed to be, especially when you start in a different place than you end a hike. Yay, snow and kitties for getting the van here. I can assure you it was an easier journey than mine. Van is on the dash. She's talking. What's up, Punky?
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!